Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Federico Talks Watches. Today, we're going to talk about the new limited Daytona that came out for the 100th anniversary, but also excuse the tight quarters. We had to do an impromptu shoot. I want to include my partner John here. How you doing, buddy?
Good, how are you?
We had to move the camera around, so a little awkward, but it is what it is. But of course, before we get started, customary wristwatch check. Today I'm wearing my Gerard Perregaux Laureato Evo 3 Moon Phase, Power Reserve Big Date, yada yada. You guys know I love this watch. What are you wearing, buddy?
Great watch. Got back on the wrist, Rolex Always Perpetual 39 Red Grape.
That's a forever watch for you, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of timeless, you know, it just looks like an old Rolex, but it's modern.
Yeah, all the modern
style.
features and stuff like that. And also, guys, quick little shout out. Don't forget to check out Del Rey Watch. A bunch of new inventory, including the cheapest in the country, Omega Speedmaster Dark Side of the Moon Speedmaster with the cool new movement, ceramic case. We got a Tudor Pelagos in titanium blue dial, also least expensive one in the States, and a recently serviced vintage Zodiac Aerospace World Time. It's like a time capsule.
You like that watch, right?
I love that watch. Because, listen, it's small, but the proportions are still right where a big guy like me can still wear it. And where do you get, a dive style GMT World Time? They're not that common. You know
Except
what I
for
mean?
modern Zodiac.
Well, yeah, sure,
the
but
same watch.
They don't have the same charm.
Yeah.
But anyway, guys, I'm here with John. We're to discuss the recently released white gold Daytona. And yeah, I mean, I don't know much about the watch, just seen the press release. Mm-hmm. I don't know what you know about it, but what do you think? First impressions.
I mean, I think a lot of collectors are a little bummed that it's not stainless steel, first of all. I mean, you know, stainless steel Daytonas are still hot, right? Ceramic bezel Daytona.
Yeah, but if they made this model in stainless steel, it'd have a 400-year waiting list.
I'm sure it already does. You know, that's the thing, right? It's where do you draw the line? But also, you know, a comment that I know you've talked about a lot on your channel is that Rolex just doesn't decorate their movements very well and doesn't put see-through casebacks in their watches. But this watch has both.
This watch has both, and that has to do with the new Platinum Daytona. Finally got it with this generation. And, you know, all respect to Rolex, the movement is very pretty. This is obviously white gold, not platinum, so this got it too. So I really like that. I like the Newman-esque subdials.
All the exotic dial.
The exotic dial, the reverse panda. And they put in a little bit of that enamel red paint on the 100. Because what is it, 100-year anniversary or what? NASCAR? What are we
NASCAR? No, it's the Le Mans race, and I'm not a big European racing fan. You probably know about that. If you are European.
More Formula One. Don't really watch Le Mans, but
you know, they had to modify the movement for this Daytona for the 24-hour register as opposed to the 12 at the 9 o'clock. So it is a movement used only in this model so far, but I think that's kind of cool.
I think that's awesome because Rolex, and I've accused them, and I will say, and I'll accuse them again of being lazy. They did more than just slap a see-through case back and make a dial. I mean, the movement is unique on this watch, which is awesome. You've got the decorated movement, which is awesome, and they brought back the exotic dial. What is the list price, John? 50 something?
I think it's 56,000. But you know, maybe look that up and put that on the video on the
screen.
I think it's 56,000. We're shooting this, and it was still rumored for the actual retail price.
Got it. But I can tell you, I'm 100% sure this is going to be a six-figure watch, on the retail market. Right? No, it's not going to sell for a list. I mean, just the fact it's that special one-off movement, just the fact they brought back the exotic dial, even though I am not a Daytona fan, find it a little bit boring. I find it impractical to unscrew the pushers when you have to use a chronograph. I can tell you this is going to be a hot collector's piece, which hasn't really happened much in white gold for Daytonas. I mean, maybe the Mayer dial had a lot of hype, but this is going to be...
But much after the fact that after it came out, though.
Oh yeah, way after the fact.
Until he talked about it.
Until he talked about it, thank you, Hodinkee. But no, I think this is going to be a holy grail, collectible, modern Rolex.
But what if, just what if this is actually a play against Artisans de Genève.
I mean, I don't
Because
know.
they come out with watches like this, and then Rolex is like, Artisans de Genève, they do a good job, so we won't come after them legally like we did the other guys with watch customization. We'll just make our own.
But, well, that's the point. I don't think it's a play necessarily. They just saw, like, wow, these guys are making so much money. Like, adding 100,000 to a Daytona when, like, we're actually Rolex.
With the see-through case back, we're not going to listen to the collectors, but we'll listen to other watchmakers that are listening to collectors.
Well, and the only reason they're listening to other watchmakers is because they see the dollars slipping from their pocket. So, like, even though this is a 2 thumbs up from Rolex, in my opinion, a little late. Like, a little late to the party. You know what I mean? Like, you know, what's next? Stella? Oh, actually, no, we can argue Stella Dial's already kind of coming back in the OPs. Almost like the colors, but it's like they have, like, another company has to do it first and potentially get sued, and then Rolex are like, now we can do it ourselves.
I like the watch.
I do too.
But I don't know. I like that most of their, I mean, all of their models basically don't have a see-through case back. It's almost, I kind of like that they held the line, you know? I like that for some reason. I don't know why.
So,
it's predictable.
Hold on. I like the solid case backs, right? I do, because they actually are more practical. And in precious metal, you also get precious metal. But they were using it as an excuse to not really decorate their movements. Their movements look like shit. You know, Patek has closed case backs, you know, not so much anymore, but they used to. But when you used to open them, the decoration was the same as if it was an open case back or a closed case back. It didn't matter. Like, it didn't matter the customer couldn't see it. They still did it to that level. Rolex only started doing it to that level now that people can see it. You know, that was my gripe. I actually like closed case backs, but now they actually have to work harder.
But do you think they just, I mean, people were going to buy it whether or not it had a closed case back? So, like, why are they putting an open case back? You know what I mean?
Because they got to listen to the collector once in a while. I mean, listen, it's an easy upgrade for them. It's an easy, like, change for them without having to do anything horologically significant. You know, and it's going to trickle down, I think, to, like, other of their models. But anyway, enough poo-poo about Rolex. I actually think this model's awesome. I think it's going to be unobtainium, impossible to get. But, and Rolex, a company not known for limited production, you know, unlike Omega, which, like, every time, like, a toddler has a half birthday, they do a limited edition of something. I also like that this is actually rare.
They are kind of like one of those parents, right? One of those parents that, like, celebrates pretend half Christmas or whatever.
And it's like, oh, it's your 6 months into 6th grade. Here's a diploma. You know, it's like a participation trophy.
That's
for T-ball.
good. I like that.
You know,
yeah, it's one of those.
Rolex, literally, it's like someone got a master's degree. You get a pat on the shoulder. You know, so I like the fact that they're pretty, you know, held back with that. But overall, this watch is, even though it's not for me, I vote that it's an absolute winner. What do you think?
I think it's I mean, guys, let's be honest, we know it's a winner. Like, is there anybody that hates it? But I want to hear that.
But
actually.
horologically speaking, they weren't lazy. That's all I'm saying. New movement, brought back a dial, like things were actually done here. That's all I'm trying to say.
If someone gave you one,
oh yeah, I'd wear it.
But would you sell it?
Absolutely. Sell it.
You don't even know what the number is.
I don't care.
It's gone.
Sell it and go buy like 40 Mosers.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just not a Rolex guy, and I don't think that doesn't surprise anybody watching this.
That makes sense.
You know, it is what it is. But anyway, guys, that's our take on the new, not NASCAR, but Le Mans Daytona. Excuse me. Hope you enjoyed it.
I want the NASCAR version.
You got the NASCAR Daytona?
I do want the NASCAR.
You get like maybe like free 6-pack of Bud Light?
I want the Daytona.
Good point.
What's the deal with that? Why are we? I mean, I don't know everything about racing, but why is there not a Daytona?
Subject for a future video.
That's kind of messed up.
Subject for a future video. Guys, this is my partner, John P. Go subscribe to his YouTube channel, The Real John P. Or just, is it The Real
John P. Watches.
Or John P. Watches, I'm sorry. Link in the description below. And, of course, check out Delray Watch for all your watch needs. Take care.